Okay, so for our first logarithmic function, and I'm sorry if you ever catch me saying that wrong because I do it a lot, we're supposed to show the graph of the function y equals sine x or y equals sine theta. Theta is on the pi axis kind of thing. So it has these points. What am I looking for? It has points like 2 pi, pi, and x is just like the number axis, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're using the theta axis because we need points with pi so that we can use the unit circle. But anyways, I'm supposed to show you the graph of this function and show how I got the points using this, which is the unit circle. So first thing you want to do when you're trying to graph something like sine, cosine, and sometimes tangent is you want to find out the interval. So the interval that I'm given is between 0 and 2 pi, which means that I only want to draw it from here on the graph to here. And I graph this on Desmos, so it carries it out to the left and to the right. It just keeps going, but you don't have to worry about that because that's not in the interval that I'm asked. So then the next thing you want to know is that the sine graph looks like this. It's always going to have a shape like this unless it has like a shift or something that might change that, but that's generally what it's going to look like. And then lastly, the sine is the y value of points that you find on the unit circle. So let's start graphing. So because it wants it between 0 and 2 pi, we can pick a point between there. Let's start with 0. So if we find 0 on the unit circle, it's right here. And because sine is the y value, we go to the coordinates of this point, which is 1, 0, and our y value, or our point on the graph is going to be the y value of that coordinate. So the y value in this case would be 0, which means that this line is going to be on 0 on the y-axis. And then you can keep going and doing that throughout. The same thing is going to be with pi and 2 pi. The y value for pi is 0, y value for 2 pi is the same as 0. So 0 is also 2 pi, and it's still the coordinate. So the coordinate is still 0, the y coordinate. But for these other points, like we'll do pi over 2. Pi over 2 is right here on the unit circle, and the y coordinate for that is 1. So that means it's going to go up 1. This is like 5 spaces, but it only goes up to 1 right here. And then for 3 pi over 2 is right down here, it's -1, so it's going down 1 on the y-axis. And then you get all those points that I just told you, and then you can draw your little curvy thing.